Hi, and welcome to my third part in my mini-series on live AI use cases that I have in my daily life. This is the other tools video. We have already covered how I use agent framework inside my C# code. I've in part 2 shown how I use AI to code using Codex. And in this video, we are going to talk about the other tools and automations I use. And it's surprisingly few, actually. I only use 5 tools, and Codex is one of them. So I use ChatGPT, n8n, Google Gemini, and TurboScribe AI. We'll go into them in a separate slide for each of them in one bit. But this is surprisingly few, and also shows that AI is so versatile when you have a coding agent and a chatbot. Of course, over my years, I have for the last 20 plus years made automations. I did it way before anyone else more or less did it. And I have made tons of webhooks, schedules, all kinds of things. So if we took that into the account, this slide would be filled with entries. But if we're only talking AI, it's down to these 5 different things. So the first is ChatGPT. Don't need to introduce it, hopefully. Very simple. I mostly use it for work now, and using Gemini for personal stuff. I'm at least trying. I will get back into why. But ChatGPT is, of course, known. The only thing you should definitely think of is you should definitely go in and go to personalization and set some custom instructions and put in information about yourself to the level you wish to, of course. So for example, if you ask, give me an example on adding 2 numbers together, you will probably get a Python example back, and then you say, no, I want it in C#. I put in my system that I'm a C# developer, and that if I don't specify, then all code examples should come back as C# and without comments. And since I did that, I've never gotten a Python script back unless I specifically asked it to. So definitely go in and do yourself the favor at least setting your custom instructions. Next up is n8n, and this image is not from a live setup I have, but instead of just a promotion image there are an n8n. And the reason for that is that my n8n is a workflow engine. It's a little like if this then that, Microsoft Logic apps and all these, Zapier was there as well. They're open source, so you can use them for free if you host it yourself, and they are quite easy to work with compared to some of the others. The others often are either very, very limited or require some kind of Excel-like format of formatting things. This one format things using JavaScript. Not that I'm good at JavaScript, but ChatGPT is. So it can more or less do anything you need in terms of transformation and stuff like that. I have a few live n8n workflows, but as you can see, this was the most exciting I could find that I branch out into a true false here. Beyond that, it's just do this, do this, do this on a schedule. And I mostly do it when I don't want to write the code for the integration into some kind of system, in this case, Microsoft Teams. I don't want to get a refresh token and all this stuff. So I just normally make an API for myself, use it in here, and then use n8n to do the last stuff. So I'm doing things like here every Monday at 8 o'clock, public holidays are being posted into a Teams message. I have work anniversary bot, so if someone have work anniversary or birthday, it also posts to Teams. I have a little thing about refreshing a certain Microsoft Graph Research token, which normally was like 4 or 5 things in a Postman. And now I just click in here and I get my new refresh token. I unfortunately can get fully rid of the automation. And then I have a generic one that can just post messages to Teams, so my other code can call it. Because I normally write my own code, I feel I have more control than building these workflows. But in the company I work for, they have gone full in on 8NN and done some very, very advanced stuff. The most advanced I can think of is they have made a system that listens to whenever meeting recordings from Microsoft Teams are done. It extracts those out into N8N. It uses ChatGPT to summarize them and then send out emails to the participants and make notes about what happened during that meeting in HubSpot. So it's not only in audio anymore, it's actually down so you can search for it. It's really, really cool setup and a lot of these notes along the way. And it's nice to see that that's a non-developer who can do that. So N8N is cool. It's just a little too basic for me. I want to have the full control in code, more or less. Personally, I use Google Gemini. It's a recent switch. I use ChatGPT for both personal and work. But lately I have found that ChatGPT is very slow. So I'm trying out Gemini, and Gemini is, first of all, very, very fast at images. So it's the one who makes all the small robot mascots I have on my videos. And in general, it's just fast to talk. I only run on the free plan at the moment, so I run out of thinking. So I might need to either buy or go back to ChatGPT and live with it being a bit slower than Gemini. But I find it nice to also just see other things than OpenAI in this. And of course, you should go into your settings and set up instructions for Gemini and also put in your preferences so it works in the same manner. The final thing I use is something called TurboScript. And this video you're seeing right here have been through TurboScript after I recorded it, because this is a way of getting the video's transcript, meaning the captions for it. Google's captions don't often work for my channel for some reason, and when they do, they're incredibly poor compared to what TurboScript can do here. So every time I made a video, I put it into this tool, I let it transcribe, and then it puts it back into a SRT file for the captioning that I can upload to Google as well. So that's the reason why you can see closed captioning on my videos, that this tool. You can use it for free for 3 videos a day, or you can pay a monthly subscription to have unlimited number of transcripts a day. But it's a nice free tool as well if you just have a video or 2 here and there. And that's actually everything. I find it both strange and also okay that I don't use more AI. And of course, I behind the scenes use AI more because there's AI in everything. Is the spam filter in my Gmail AI? I think it is, but I don't know, and I think that's a good thing. Let's focus on features and functions, and not if it's AI or if it's an if statement. Doesn't really matter as long as it brings value. So that's my general approach to AI also. There are certain things I don't use. Apple Intelligence. I don't use Siri other than controlling my music. I'm sitting here looking at if I activated it by mistake, but I didn't. And that's it. So if you have anything cool that you use, then write something in the description that you find interesting every day. But in general, if I have my coding tool and I have a chatbot, I'm more or less golden. So with that, let's end this mini series and see you in the next one.